Ready like Norm early.
Yep. Whoa.
All right, I believe we're live here at the Swift Current Curling Club and the home of the Players' Championship for this year, and we're down to some C finals. So we got Team Rylan Kleiter taking on Team Michael Kars, and the winner will advance to the qualifying round tomorrow, and the loser will probably stay the night and go home tomorrow. So welcome to all you viewers. I hope you enjoy the game tonight, and we will keep you posted on some of the other CF game events going on as well. I did usually have, my name is Dean Kleiter, and I usually have a partner in either Eugene Ritzik or Matthew Tyon this weekend, but both of them have seemed to bailed. So if anybody's on the stream and wanting to participate, send me a text. We'll get you on and you can tell some stories. All right, well, we're into the first end here, and it's a pretty wide open. Kleiter did get hammer with the draw to the button, and that means that they will start off the first end here with hammer. After a couple of hits, Kleiter now decided that it's time to go for the corner guard and try to get some sort of deuce action happening.
Heavy in the middle.
I'm hoping you'll enjoy the telecast. I don't have anybody to bounce any questions off of, so I'm going to just guess on most of the strategy. And if it looks like I'm talking to myself, that is because I am talking to myself. Send some text. Let us know where you're watching from. It's always interesting to know. Gonna get that chat rolling. Gotta say a big thanks out to the Curling Stadium for having this equipment all set up at the Swift Current Curling Club, and allows pretty easy streaming on all 6 sheets, as well as any sort of commentary that's wanted from the comfort of my own home. Once again, all you need is a computer and a microphone. Actually, a phone is all you really need, and sync to the link and start participating. So after the corner guard, Michael Kars elected to throw a second one in there. As you can hear, they got the mics running pretty good in the, I believe they're in the foam pads between the sheets, so if you hear some yelling, screaming, and strategy calling, you'll know where that's coming from. And you can even hear the slider. Josh Botcha here with his third shot in end number 2, or in end number 1, pardon me. So he was looking to roll around the corner, but as they was over curling, they decided to maybe try to get it to bunch up to the other red one. Second man. Looks like he's throwing this one back, and will it come up enough to get a piece? And it does just get a piece. So Trevor Johnson now, the second/third for this weekend, as the Kleiter team is missing 2 of their players, Matthew Tyon and Josh Mattern. So they picked up super sub Josh Botcher. So they're all playing a little bit of different positions that they're used to playing, but they're still throwing the same rocks. Trevor's looking a little bit heavy here and loud. And will this one even stop in the house at all? I believe not. So big error there to start the game here with Trevor's going through the house, and I'm sure Michael Cars is going to jump up and feel that guard. Oh, they're going to play it in the house, so they're looking to try to get a force here, I guess, rather than give Kleiter the easy blank. So not a bad strategy.
I'm fine. Here, just biting 8. Mine's really nice.
And a nice shot to get to the top 12 foot. And once again, Kleiter will try the third attempt to try to get a hit and roll behind that corner. And again, Trevor Johnson with his second shot of 3 in this end.
Lead. Yep. Yep. Yes. Hard. Hard. Lead.
And this one curls up a little too much as well, so they get just the nose hit. However, it might be in a spot that if Michael Cars does hit it on the nose, he may be out of the house. We'll have to see. He may have to get a bit of a roll. For third, Aaron Shutra.
That's probably the most.
Coming down with the regular hit weight.
Yeah, hard.
It is curling.
Hard to contact.
It may curl too much. It does roll into a fairly decent position, which it will give Kleiter the opportunity for the double. And if he throws it hard enough, he may even get the roll across the house too. Trevor Johnson with his third shot, looking to run the straight back double. Actually, it looks like he may just barely get the top one. Another opportunity miss there for Team Kleiter to get out of this end. They're having a lot of trouble this weekend. I'm not sure if it's the ice or how they're throwing, but there's been a lot of half shots. So Michael Cars will just go down and split the house.
This is no good anymore.
And that will probably make it difficult for Kleiter to do anything but take his one. But the way the other games have been going, I think Kleiter has not taken a lead in a game yet. So even taking one would be, I think, a big accomplishment for this team this weekend. So Michael Cars, the sweepers are just cleaning it. Must be very close. Now they jumped it. Did they wait too long? No, those veteran sweepers, they got her in the right spot and buried. Great shot. Well, Kleiter's thinking about it, but I think his only shot is to hope to get his one here.
How much you want to hit?
Probably a thick half.
So Josh Botcher holding the broom just was asking how much he thought Rylan needed to hit. And I think it had to do with knowing exactly that weight. And you know, when you're a new player playing with a team like this, you never really know what that weight is until you see a lot of it. So it'll be interesting to see how the line gets called.
Then get on it. Yep. Yep. Hard.
They're on this one, off the one, must be very close. On it, off it, and it is gonna roll right through. It looked like they hit the half a rock, but obviously wasn't what they needed to hit. I think they needed a little bit more, less weight or more rock. It looks like Michael Kars will throw another one in the house and said, hey, let's you try and make your hit and stick, as it hasn't been an automatic shot for you. So probably the right call for Michael here too. He could go around that corner, force Kleiter into the draw, but they've usually been quite good with the draw. This is probably a really good call by Michael. They want it right on the tee line. Really good sweeping. And a great shot. Well, it might not have been a bad idea just to have it stop in the top 12, but obviously they're wanting to throw the hit here for one.
There's some good movement.
So you heard Kleiter there say there's should be some good movement here, so he's going to be throwing his in-turn hit. So, Rylan Kleiter, last rock, and number one, facing two, looking to get his point and a lead after the first end.
Yep.
There was a yep out of his hand. Now it's whoa. So it was yep and then whoa. And then whoa. That's about as nose as you can get. After the first end of play, you've got the Kleiter took his force to his single, will lead the game 1-0 going into the second end.
You silence the doubters. You get the best tools. You work with the right people. You look to the future and bust through.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. You are what matters most. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be a part of your community. From the dance competitions, to the rodeos, to helping discover and embrace technology across the province. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Every year, SaskTel contributes nearly $3 million to approximately 1,000 nonprofits, charities, associations, and events in more than 200 communities across Saskatchewan. So keep dancing, keep laughing, keep discovering, and we'll be there to help, to lend a hand, and join in the fun. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will, because we are dedicated to our home. To apply for sponsorship, visit SaskTel.com/sponsorships.
Hey, welcome back to the C-Qualifier, the Saskatchewan Players Players Championship here. And Kleiter off to a 1-0 lead, which I think they're going to be very happy with. The last 3 games they played, they started back by 3-0, and then 4-0, and then 3-0 in the respective game. So starting with the lead is going to be something different for this team. So we'll see how they handle that. And they tempted Josh Botcher to throw a center guard, and a fairly good one, but probably wanted a little bit closer to that center line. Now the rock that goes just behind the tee line, and if you're Team Kleiter, you're loving that, because that's they didn't leave room for two, as you will. So if they end up freezing on this, would be a very difficult one to get out. Josh Botcher, keeper spare, will attempt to freeze. This is where you don't want to be heavy. You're okay being a little light to get into control zone. This one really has to curl. Very nice. The Michael Kars feels there's enough separation there that he can get to the inside and tap the yellow one back past the red, which would be a very nice shot. So their lead, Linden home. I have my notes from the last time these two teams played in Martinsville. I believe it was a semifinal. Linden is 47 years old, and they curl out the Nutana Curling Club. Linden's coming in there. Looks like he might be a little heavy as well. Still a pretty nice shot. Well, they are looking to freeze on the inside with this one, and just a little recap of how these two teams got here. And Michael Kars started off the week playing Zurloff and beating him 6-2, then losing to Knapp 4-1. And he bops to the C event where he played Jesse St. John, beat him 8-0, which put him down to the C event where he ended up just getting by Howard by a score of 7-6. So they're not going to like this shot. An attempted freeze is going to go back 12 and not even touch the red at all. So big miss there by the Kleiter team, and Michael Kars will be licking his chops here. And already qualified in the event, we have Hartung, came out of the A along with Kelly Knapp. And then your B event qualifiers were Dice, who beat Jacobson, and then Meacham beating Kleiter, and then Gamble over St. John. Those four teams are all through, and we're going to qualify another 4 here tonight. Here's another one looking a little heavy, so I wonder if that track has gotten really fast. It's definitely uncharacteristic of these teams to throw that kind of weight. And got a really unfortunate bounce there too, which put the yellow at shot rock now, and a really opportunity back to Kleiter here. Trevor Johnson with his first, if he can ever get one top T-line, top button, that will put a lot of pressure on this Kars team here in the second end. Easy line right now, which usually means it's wide. Just trying to come in. If the weight is good, I think he'll be okay. You don't want to be hot here.
Yep, now. Hard.
That was a very nice shot. Good patience there from Josh to not oversweep it, but ended up in a really nice spot. Michael Kars has asked second Aaron Shutra to throw a little bit of hack weight at this and kind of bounce those yellows around. The other option you'd have would be to peel that center, but you obviously are liking this hack weight shot right now. Well, this is Aaron Shutra throwing. And around as hard as he by. He's very tight to the guard and he just wicked it. So not a bad result. Healing the guard was probably plan B if you didn't make it really good. So now Kleiter will probably have to replace it, I'm guessing. So now the third Trevor Johnson. That was the second Trevor Johnson that threw the last one. Now this is the third Trevor Johnson. Looking to replace that guard. Throwing the out turn.
Hey, clean it. Line's good.
Called some good line out of his hand. That's always a good sign.
Okay, we want us to keep it on. Yep.
Trevor's now jumped in. It looks like they need a little bit of weight here.
Try to get distance. Try to keep it going. Maybe gone. I don't think
They got some good sweep there to get it to the... But they still feel with that guard is very long, but they still have an opportunity to throw the hack weight on it. But yes, they did need to get that one a little bit tighter. A 3 guard would have been really nice. So the third man, Tyler Travis, age 35, out of Newtana, working as an operations superintendent at the city of Saskatoon. This one is very close. It is really starting to throw. Twirling hard. Just a beautiful shot. However, it still does leave Kleiter with first shot. And the way that one curled, I think the freeze is a really good shot. However, they will be able to run that red rock into yellow quite easily on their next shot too. So key will be to get to freeze on the red rock. So good line. We got to lead the weight now. Can they cover it enough? I'm not sure if they did. It's going to be close. It's a very good shot there by Trevor. Covered it up just so they can't hit the red back. But they can come down and tap that yellow back and maybe sit 2. Well, this is a really big shot coming up. If Tyler can freeze one on here. Well, they're calling back 4 with good line. That's usually a good sign. This one is hanging out there right now. It will finish though. This is some really good finish. Really nice shot. Probably could have curled up a little more, so this will give Kleiter an opportunity just to come in there. And if he is back button, he might be able to get to the inside even and tap it back a bit, which would be a really nice shot. But right now, I think they're just looking to freeze, and that would mean they're probably going to give one, but that's probably mission accomplished if you can give that one back. He's swept a lot of these rocks in his career, so he knows Rylan's release and going to be pretty accurate when it gets to judging these. So he's calling T-line right now. It's a little strong from here. That is a fantastic shot, well executed. That was a fist pump there. As the yellows now sit 2, and Michael Cars is really in some deep trouble right now. Trying to think of what he might have. We're talking about possibly picking the red into yellow, but that wouldn't give him a shot, but it would take out one of the yellows. Also talking about drawing to the button, which is another really difficult shot. I'm wondering what if he peels the center guard, what that would give them. Kleiter would just probably come down and tap his yellow up again to the button, which would make no shot for them. So if I was him, I'd probably just shake hands right now. I can't even hear if anybody's laughing. Maybe in chat. John, can you type something in chat that you were laughing? We're gonna have to put them on the clock here. I'm really not sure there's much of a good shot here at all, and that is why this is taking a long time. Even the fellow I'm talking to, which is myself, doesn't have any good ideas either. I think we're going on about 3.5 minutes now for this shot. But it is an important one because there's not much to do here, so I think they gotta take a lot of time at it. And it may be even running that corner guard into the pile just to jiggle everything around. You could hit some reds or... But that was a very good shot there by Rylan, and a well-executed team shot. think they might have, or have they? .932. Well, looks like they've made a decision. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I just heard back line, so I guess they are just trying to jiggle them a little bit, maybe set something up for their last shot. That shot did take approximately 5 minutes, so that would be more than one end's worth of time in a tankard game. Back four he's calling. That's the line that they called for. Line is looking pretty good. It has a bit of curling to do. And I think it maybe accomplished what they wanted to, as there wasn't a lot to accomplish, but I think they were able to. So now Kleiter will have to decide, do they draw another one in there or do they hit and roll in? We'll see how many minutes this one takes to call. I do kind of like the draw. The roll is nice, but I think you're always going to give them a chance for one if you make. Yeah. Up. Well, looks like they've decided to play the hit and roll. Problem with this, if you don't get the roll in, you're just giving them an easy shot for their one. Where if you drew one into the button there, there's no way of removing that stone. However, like they say in curling, it doesn't really matter if you call the right shot, it's if you make it. And if you make it, it's still the right shot. So Rylan Kleiter with the attempted hit and roll.
Yep. Yep.
Called it hard out of his hand.
Yep. Yep. Roll.
This one is really curling. Whoever's going to have to hit this one hard to hold it there. And looks like he mission accomplished it. So now, great sweep there by Trevor to hold that line. Now, will Mike be able to blow this up and get rid of a whole bunch of yellows is the question. Because he can see about 3/4 of it, I would think. So if he hits what he can see, it's going to be tough to get rid of more than 2 of them. So I'm thinking there should be still a steal of 1 for the yellow team. But that one, they went down quickly to this, so that's telling me that there's probably something there that he sees. And this could be for a potential 2, I'm wondering. Michael Carr's last shot, end number 2, looking to get rid of 3 yellows. And I think he'd be happy with even getting rid of 2. See what happens here. And he does get rid of just the 1. So that will mean a steal of 2 for Kleiter in end number 2. So after 2 ends of play, it's Kleiter 3, Cars no score, and we'll be right back.
A co-op is not a building. It's not a grocery store. It's not a gas station. A co-op is a group of people who come together to build up their community, to help their neighbors, to make a difference. And so, they start local businesses that are member-owned, businesses that give back. Western Canadian co-ops have been quietly doing it this way for more than 100 years. Well, it's time to speak up. It's time to celebrate. And it's time to see that there is another way. An alternative to big businesses that ship their profits out of Canadian communities. An alternative that is built for everyone. An alternative that is built on Canadian values. We are a different kind of business. We are member-owned. We are co-op.
Every trailblazer has naysayers. Every innovator, cynics. Every leader, skeptics. Anyone with a vision for their future has faced doubters in their past. So, this is our message to the doubters. You can't stop this farmer. You can't stop invention. You can't stop progress. You can't stop science. You can't stop this farmer. You can't stop family. You can't stop heart. You can't stop harvest. You can't stop this farmer. You can't stop the desire to make your mark, make your fortune, and make anyone who has ever doubted eat their words. You can't stop this farmer. So let's silence the doubters. Let's outgrow, let's outyield, let's outwork, let's outsmart. Let's look to the future and bust through.
Trev, where we go here?
All right, welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club in the home of the C-Qualifier here of the Sask Players Championship. And we just witnessed a very long end with some really great shots, and Kleiter ended up stealing 2 to take a 3-0 lead into the 3rd end of play. Just wanted to give a shout out to the curling stadium again, and the good work that they do with covering all 6 sheets here in the Curling Club of Swift Current. They also do the Martinsville curling rink, and just a great setup with 2 overhead cameras, as well as cameras facing each end. And as you can see with this telecast, we're doing some transitioning between the shots, and that's all being done in another remote location, I believe. And that's Rory McCusker, along with James Gordon, and Jerry Gertz is the head of all the curling zone stuff, which they do amazing coverage all around the world. And for any clubs interested, to set up this, and you can stream every one of your games during the week, or you can have your cameras on at all times if you like. And who knows, with COVID, we might never get to be in those curling rinks, so this might be the best way to watch all your favorite teams. All right, so we got going now. We got Kleiter, obviously, with control of the game, is going his first 2 in the top of the house money line. And then you're going to see the Cars team try to keep the play to the corner, although a pretty good result with that one. Always with hammer, you want to be playing to the wings, and without hammer, you want to be playing to the center line. Even though that did tick the corner guard, he got a nice little tick and rolled right up to the other yellow rock.
It's already unlocked.
I can try again next game.
What's up?
It's lined up really good. Try again next game. Is that drag nose double?
No, this one's dead jam.
So interesting, they're wanting to guard an opposition rock. It's not always ideal. You never know how the end might progress, but regardless, that's what they're going to give it a try. So Josh Botcher, the second, as he's finished his lead shots. He's now the second. We're going to be trying to attempt to basically corner freeze on that red one. This might be plan B coming in now, as he's looking like he's a way wide and a lot heavy. So they are going to play the tap now. So that does now leave some opportunities for cars to perhaps get a little hit and roll under.
What do you like, hitting this and coming into here?
The other shot he might have is to hit his red and roll behind the corner, just to get, because those yellows are in the top house in some pretty good positions right now. Just going into how the Kleiter team got here, and they ended up playing Bame in the first game, winning 8-3. Then Owens winning 7-5, and then losing 4-1 to Hartung, dropping down to the B qualifier, losing 6-4 to Meacham, and now in the third qualifying chance against Michael Kars. I wasn't watching exactly what the call was, and I have nobody here to help me when I'm not paying attention, so we're going to assume they're playing the hit and roll under the center guard. This is Aaron Shutra, the lefty on the team. Only a few of us that can play this game from the left side of the hack, and myself and Aaron Shutra are two of them, and that was a great shot. And Kleiter's going to ignore that, which may or may not be the right call.
One yellow after, but I don't think we can do much. There'll be a couple doubles left. This field.
So he's saying now there could be 3 reds left once they run that back, but then he's hoping he's got a couple doubles to maybe get out of the end with still 5 rocks to go.
Oh, clean, clean.
Whoever does just get a quarter of the rock, peels it out, and they might have wanted to sweep that and get it to run into the red one, but I think they were maybe making sure they plan A to make sure you hit it first.
We could, I was thinking even this is good.
Looks like I have no takers on the text that want to join me for this telecast. So I guess looks like you guys are all stuck with me. But I do have 3 screens going, watching lots of different stuff, and the other one is the Scotties Page 1-2 game is being played right now, and Chelsea Carey is leading Barker by a score of 8-6 with Hammer, playing the 8th end. So it looks like they've decided on a control hit to try and remove at least that back yellow one, but I do think they'll stick with 3 reds and 1 yellow should be still in the house when that's done. Looking very close. And there's your 3 reds and your 1 yellow. 1 lonely yellow, that is. An update in the 3-4 game at the Scotties in Assiniboia. We got Amber Holland with a 5-4 lead over Robin Silvernagel. and Amber Holland has the hammer going into the 9th end of play. So in some pretty good control there.
Good with that, yep.
Well, I was asked Trevor to hit, and I believe roll under is the call. Otherwise, you might leave a pretty easy double.
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Go to go. Hard. 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 Hard.
And it's looking fairly good here. And rolls to a very nice position. However, can they hit the red onto yellow and double them like Michael's looking at right now? I think he might be able to. And I like the call. They're not trying to throw the 6-second heavy weights. They're saying control weight. So Tyler Travis with the half rock double is what he's looking for. He's very close here. So straight jam, but still a pretty good result.
Take this double.
Gonna force Kleiter to play the hit on the open one on the right-hand side.
Like six-ish is good. It's honestly like half rock is close, thick half to be safe. This one just slightly higher.
Well, he said not to throw it too hard, just 6 is all he wants. So that is pretty cool when you can do that.
Clean. Whoa. Yep.
Very nice shot by Trevor, and with that 6 seconds, and he just gets it through. That was a very flat double. He had to hit that exactly where he did. So precision shot there by Trevor Johnson. Well done.
Rolling weight doesn't really do anything.
That's why I think Michael now has to pretty much, he's saying hit and roll the other way, but you do leave a double. I'm almost thinking you have to run your red straight back to sit one buried.
I think we're just doing this. Control.
But he may be a bit early. We're still, what do we got? 4, 5, 6. Well, there's down to third's last rock here, so. But he's maybe thinking he can make a double and roll. I'm not sure. Tyler Travis with his last rock here in end number 3, trailing 3-0. Now they're just gonna, and does he make the double? That was a very nice shot. Wasn't too far off, but I think if he does make the double, that, well, his shooter would have probably had to roll away then. So Kleiter just wants to hit and stick here. And there should be the 4 should be on. Kleiter throwing the out turn hit into the 12-foot. Not sure if we've seen a lot out here, but by the looks of the broom, it's not going to do too much. And you don't want to roll out here because that will bring the 2 into play. And rolls into the 4-foot, and a very good shot. Now, as easy as those shots are sometimes, you gotta, pretty crucial that you don't roll out, because then it does become almost an automatic 2 versus a possible force. Little update in the Carrie Barker game. Carrie has stoled one, so she now goes up 9-6 in that all-important page 1-2 game, ninth end. Oh, Michael Carr is looking to throw the hit and roll under and maybe double. He's have to throw this pretty hard. This one is looked like it's running a little straight. And we'll just hit and roll a bit. Now, Kleiter once again has the hit. And if he does roll under the guard, it'll be a really nice shot to put a little more pressure on Michael Carr's here. And you'll probably have to draw the 4-foot.
Nose is better than big roll, though.
Yeah, rolling very tight now, too.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
All right, Rylan Kleiter with his last shot coming here in end number 3. Looking to hit and roll under the guard and for sure stick around is the number 1 goal. There was a whoa out of his hand. And will this come up enough? And it does just enough. Stick for 2, and you know, if it's Kevin Cooey, he's probably playing the half a rock double for the 2, but I'm not sure if Michael Carrs is willing to take that risk. 3-point lead, or being down 3, it may be worth the risk. Feels like his front end says yes. They want to take the 1 and go into the 4th end with a 2-point deficit. That's still much better than being down 4-0. And that's sometimes how these games can go. You don't get off to a lead and you start gambling and going a little harder, and then things can backfire very quickly, as Kleiter has witnessed in the last couple games they were in. A little bit of trouble early, and then it's pretty hard to get back into them sometimes. Michael Carr with the hit, putting 6 for 1 and looking really nice. There you have it. Michael makes no mistake and counts his 1 here in the 3rd end. So after 3 ends of play, Kleiter leads 3-1 going into the 4th.
Trust. Trust your family, the foundation of your operation. Trust. Trust your neighbors, always there to lend a hand. Trust. Trust your wisdom, passed on from generation to generation. Trust. Trust your intuition. It's usually right. Trust. Trust your dreams, especially the big ones. At MNP, we believe trust is earned. We're here for you and your growing business. Visit us at mnp.ca.
Well, welcome back to the Swift Current Curling Club, formerly known as Speedy Creek. And we've got a match here between Michael Kars and Rylan Kleiter. And just wanted to say those pretty cool advertisements you've seen in between the ends are all sponsors of the respective teams that are playing here on this sheet. So it's pretty neat that they can easily show some value to their sponsors in between ends and make sure you support them and even mention to them that that you've seen their sponsorship while watching these events. So we got Team Kleiter again up 3-1, playing the fourth with the hammer. So in curling terms, we call that in some pretty good control. And like Michael Kars did the tight center guard, and Kleiter elected to do the tick, and it just over curled a bit, and they were still able to tick it into the, or knock it into the house, however, right to the button. So they will, they'll be perfectly happy with that. And Lyndon Holm went ahead and threw up another center guard tight. So because this red rock is behind the tee, although Kleiter does have hammer, they could attempt to do the split on the yellows and try to get 2 yellows in the house right now and open it up. But rather than that, they've decided to be a little more aggressive and go after that one in the house, which I think Michael Kars is quite happy with. Being down 2 without, he's needing to steal pretty bad, so he wants to make sure that play stays to the center line. Calling back 12, so this is a little more weight than they were anticipating. It is starting to curl now. And pretty good shot there by Josh. Good patience by Trevor and the line call to wait for that to come down. But as I mentioned before, Michael's quite happy with the play to the center line, so he's going to now come down and just try to get to the inside of it, and that'll put a lot of pressure on this Kleiter team. And lefty Aaron Shutra will be very close, as he always is. This one's coming down. Looks like it might be a little heavy as well. But it does finish here, as we've seen with Josh's. A very nice shot.
Trying to bump it a bit, I think.
Sure. Even nose isn't terrible.
Yeah, I think we gotta try to move the yellow back though.
Okay, Dave, throw the same weight.
Yeah, even a little more.
Okay. Okay.
It might run better. Let's go same way.
Once again, they are getting into this with the Kars team, and the play to the center line is everything Michael wants.
Line's pretty good. Just easy early.
Called line good right now. Does take its time, but once it starts, it does curl. But this one's not going to curl at all, so they're going to try plan B, as that was fairly heavy weight. They were looking for about back 8-foot weight, and he had probably half there. So that was the difference.
Or we just straight draw. I think you gotta move it. Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Now with a little draw in here, and now they're going to be in really big trouble. They're going to wish they peeled that center guard. Aaron Shutra with the same shot.
Yeah, because your first one was 07. Swap back 4.
This is looking very nice. And a really nice shot. Oh, and Kleiter's still going to go for the guard for the draw. It is on the tee line, so if they can get to the tee line, that's all they need, and could pretty much secure a point, but they can't be heavy here again. Trevor Johnson with his first shot as the second man. Calling black 8. It's going to be a little bit heavy then. And they're not going to like this one. It's going to tick off and be big trouble here for Kleiter. That was about back 12 weight. Well, that's 3 in a row that they're going to have to try to bounce back on. The good part about it is all those red rocks are behind the tee at the moment, so they will be able to get at it either from, if Tyler makes a good one here, they should still be able to maybe get at it from the other turn. But they will have to make a shot fairly soon. This is looking really juicy. Oh, it just rubs the guard. So as we've seen a bunch run really straight there, all of a sudden we have one that ended up just ticking the guard.
Either that or you run the yellow into the red. Try to get it coming back.
We got a freeze here. Score 1.
Yeah.
We're just wondering what the...
The only thing is, if you did make that though, they can't really guard this, right?
Well, they throw on top button. It's...
Should have. I only have. We have what? 3 left or 4 left? 4. You could play that if you come take a look. Anyways, the only thing that's really nice is this is a really good angle to be coming back here. Like it's really tough to not hit the rock.
So I like how they're talking. There's a really good opportunity to run that yellow into the red and maybe even bounce it into the button. Versus there are 4 rocks to come, so only half of them have been thrown. So lots of opportunities to get out of this end, but Trevor is right though too. If you can make that draw right down to the button, that's going to be a hard one to get rid of as well. So.
Then that's when they lock here. It's either the yellow or the dry.
Honestly, man, this shot's pretty good.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. This is the best. What's up? Well, obviously heavy and then a little bounce.
Yeah.
I'll just give you draw to the pin path.
So it looks like they've agreed that the draw to the button will be the right shot, and if it doesn't quite curl enough, they should still be able to come off of that, the red one on the right side, and bounce into the button. So lots of good things can happen here for sure. And with 4 rocks to play, there's probably going to be lots of more good things to happen after that. So Trevor Johnson, the out-turn draw.
Okay, clean it. Yep. Line's gotta go line. Hard line.
They're calling it for the line. Is it going to get by? There's a lot of sweeping going on there. And looks like it's going to come up light and hit the guard. So tolerance was to be heavy there. And they did come up light. So Another advantage, Michael Kars. I think he would have had the right line if he had the right weight. It just came up a bit late.
Thinking here. Yeah. He's always got this. And here. Yeah, I don't mind trying it.
I'm Michael. I'm coming right in there, right to the top of the button. That's a great shot. Sounded like some cupcakes out there. That one just didn't come up, but you know what? It's still a pretty good spot as it takes away a bit of the forefoot of Kleiter trying to get to now. So they're looking at possibly the double run through. Red onto yellow onto red. Another option would be pounding that red into the reds.
This, we could do so much more if this rock's not there.
Yeah. That could be juicy though if you ever do make contact.
I think we can, well, yeah, you could also throw halfway like this.
That's over you. Yeah.
So here's I think the shot here is what they're calling. Run that red straight back and make sure you make contact with that yellow one somewhere, because if you do, it could go off of a red, it could go straight back. Lots of good things can happen, but the key is to make sure you make contact with the yellow. And if they do hit it 3/4 high side, it could be a really good result, as it goes nose onto yellow, yellow into the reds, and could perhaps will double those reds and sit a few yellow. Trevor Johnson with his second shot here at number 4, looking to double run back. And that's going to hit. Hit about a half a rock and he needed nose hit, so that's not going to be a good situation, but it does open up the center, so Kleiter may have a run back here later in the end. So they might be looking back at this one thinking maybe we shouldn't be going around those center guards when we're up 2 with him.
Top 4, hey? Full 8 foot.
Now red's sitting looks like about 4 right now, and perhaps 5 when this shot is done.
Yeah, you're still missing.
And Kleiter will have a really difficult trying to even score a point this end.
Pretty close, Aaron.
Calling line weights close out of his hand. Although they are scraping it hard. And this could be for the line. Now they're saying, whoa. Maybe they are throwing the guard. Now, did this over curl to give Kleiter that draw to the button? or will he attempt one of his runners? He's got a couple options there with the one in the top 12 foot, he could run to the button, or the one on the center line, he could run straight back as well. And actually, it is still Trevor's shot here, I think. No, I guess it is Riley's now. So it looks like they've elected for the straight back on the yellow, which would be a good result because you would keep your guard there and potentially double a couple of those reds out. Wouldn't mind just a little jaw tap to the button either, would have been a pretty good shot, but regardless, this is his second last shot, so it'll nothing else, it'll open it up. Kleiter with his first shot here in end number 4. They went off to clean to yes. Did they miss this? And they did miss the line call. They're not going to be happy with that one. That had a really good shot coming. So now Michael will regroup here again and say, okay, we're sitting 3 again, so now what do we do? I don't think they can take every shot away. Kleiter will always have something. But the one that I think the easiest right now for Kleiter is raising that yellow one that's in the top 12 foot. I think that's the one they got to take away. And then I'm not sure his best shot will be. And it couldn't have ended up in a worse spot because it rolled just under that center guard too, so you can no longer make a play on that one on the yellow because I think it is too far under. Other than, I guess, with a nice back 8 weight or something, or a back 12 weight, you might be able to come in there. So Lyndon was saying he thinks that center guard back is the easier one, but he thinks they should take away. And the fact that he just threw it as well. And if I'm Kleiter, I want to have that yellow one, top 12, to be tapped to the 4 foot on my last shot. That's a good point. They're talking about trying to get another one into the top 4 because they can't take away everything. But if they do ever just nick off of the yellow, it may just make it an easy shot for Kleiter to score as 1. I like Aaron Schutra's thought process there. They want to put some pressure on him. That's the way to do it. Just a little update here in end number 10. Looks like Penny Barker scored a 3-ender to get tied 9-9. Looks like they might run out of scoreboard here, but they only have 1 end to go, so they should be fine.
Yeah, we're just playing it here, right?
And in the other 3-4 game, Holland made her last shot to take a 6-5 win over Robin Silvernail. So Michael Kars with his last shot here, and number 4. And sitting 3 red ones in the house at the moment. Looking to just guard the center run back. Looks like mission accomplished. So Kleiter will now have to come up to that yellow and make a little tap to the button for his 1. And, you know, and more importantly, getting it into the 4-foot. If you don't get to the button, not the end of the world, you give up 1. But you do want to make sure you cut them down. Even moving it 2 feet will cut them down to 2. But the goal would be to tap it to the button. They play this shot in practice, so you know that they know what's how this is to be made. They've visualized it before. Rylan just about was taken out by Trevor as he was sliding backwards, and I've done that before too, where I had a person basically on their all fours cleaning up something on the ice, and I was sliding backwards all the way down to the far end and flipped right over and just about landed back on my feet if I would have been able to do that shoulder roll. And that was one of the times when you get up and thinking, am I going to be alive? And I actually had no effects from it at all. And I was even thinking the next morning would be pretty tough, but it was fun. Rylan Kleiter, last shot, and number 4, needing a big shot to keep his team from giving up a big end here. They're going hard at this, and is it going to overcurl on him? It looks like it will. Unless Trevor can hold this. And it looks like he will limit them to 1. So pretty good shot to limit them down to 1 and only give up the deal of 1. So after 5 ends of play, Kleiter takes a 3-2 lead with Hammer into the 6th end, and I wonder if they will go around the center guard again.
Hi, I'm Kurt, and at Flamin, we offer a variety of services to keep your trailer road safe and road ready. Whether it's trailer maintenance, an inspection, a repair, warranty, or upgrades, you can trust our accredited locations to give you the service you need. So whatever your trailer needs are, we've got you covered. Contact your local Flamin dealer to see how we can help you today.
All right, welcome back again to the C-Qualifier of the the Sask Curling Tour Players Championship, brought to you by the SaskTel Curling Stadium and curling zone. So pretty entertaining game so far, as Michael Cars did have this Kleiter team in a lot of trouble in the fourth end, and Rylan Kleiter came up with a really good tap shot to get this game to only a steal of 1, as he was facing 3 in a very difficult shot. So now Cars did throw a center guard, and then I'm not sure how that one ended up there, if they elected to throw a come around and it came up light, or I don't think they were throwing a center guard. So the good news is he will be able to peel that one with his next one. Lyndon Holm going to attempt to get to the top 4. Line is looking really good here. And that did come down pretty fast as well, but it did make it into the house. And Kleiter said, "We're going around." You must think it worked so well last end, we're going to try it again.
That's probably the right play to do.
And once again, these strategies always work when you execute your shots. So there's no doubt that this one is put right to the top 8 foot buried. That's going to be a very nice shot. Josh Botcher with his second shot here. Oh, they did change the call. I couldn't see that from this end. Did decide to peel off, and I think that was a great call. And the reason being is that those 2 reds are very close together. So now they will be a very doubleable, is that a good word? Doubleable? Very easy to make a double on those reds. So I think that peel was a really good call. Aaron Shutra, the second best lefty playing out of Saskatoon. And Josh, no, you're not the other one. Looking to have the come around, or looks like he was throwing another guard, I think, and it's going to come a little tighter than he wants. Now, will this set up a triple? It is very close. I think you're going to see a bit of drag, maybe.
Yeah, just good peel is fine. Like 7 seconds or so.
Can hit this one anywhere on the right side of center, and I think those 3 reds will be gone. Josh Botcher, the second, throwing his first shot and last of this end. And they're not going to like this one. However, it does leave the 2 the 2 guards that will be quite easy to peel, as we thought on his last one. I think Josh is a bit frustrated with his last few shots. As they would say in the curling world, that sometimes that's not even in the right area code. Well, you know, Josh will bounce back. I'm sure this is new for him. He hasn't been playing on this circuit for a while, so it'll take a bit for him to get his legs under him and get to playing the way that he knows how to. We've seen him play very well before. Pretty good center guard. However, this is a part of the game Trevor's been working really hard at, and I'm sure that he's going to be very close on this double peel.
Yep, yes, yep.
They're on it right out of his hand. could have left that one and they would have maybe made plan B, but still got rid of a guard, I guess. Matter of when does Michael go in, is what he's saying. There, got another. They're just halfway through this end, so I think might be a little bit early yet, but I guess if you're not going to throw another tight guard or a high guard, then this is the right one. Tyler Travis looking to throw the in turn, come around and going for some nice line right now. He's getting lots of weight, so this looks really good. Now it will finish hard here at the end. So again, I'm sure Kleiter will ask Trevor to hit a half a rock. And there should be a triple here again, opportunity. Just half a rock is all it is. I make that sound really easy, don't I? Trevor's calling the angles from the hack at the back end.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit thinner than a half. Third rock.
Third of a rock is the call.
Yep.
Trevor
yep.
Johnson.
Yep.
Jump it out of his hand.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
And that was pretty much a half rock, I think. And third was probably what he needed, maybe, to get rid of everything.
No, he's much better with his foot.
Put a little bit on the backtrack. I don't know how much it affected it. Did anybody see was that going out? Or? It didn't go out. I don't think it was going out. Thicker, make it that way.
They're asking if all of them are going out, and
You guys, like here, hey?
anyways, it looks like Michael Carr still has got the hand up on Kleiter as they're going to guard this one on the forefoot. Tyler Travis with his second shot. They haven't laid a broom to it. The sweepers are standing up. That usually means it's going to be a little bit heavy. And this one is going to come right into the house. And that's going to be a big break for Team Kleiter.
Play the double. Double up. Might stick your shooter right here too.
Double's a very nice call if you make it. And if you don't, that's going to be another guard attempt for the Michael Carr's team. And late in the end, I don't mind going after shot rock. But this is a confident throw, and if you're feeling you got this, this is the right call. This has got a lot of curling to do. Now, there's a good reason why you might want to play the shot rock. At least you know they have to go after you versus the steal. But it's all about the confidence. If you're feeling it and you think you can make the double, that's a great shot too. So after a couple of really good ends from the Kleiter team to start the game, they've kind of fallen off the rails a bit here, and Michael Carrs is fighting his way back into this game. And Michael Carrs with his first shot, and number 5 looking to guard the red rock in the forefoot.
Line's good. 2. Good curl. Linden. Hard. Hard. All the way up. All the way.
Will this curl up enough? Might have let him off the hook again. looks like it does. They can see just about the whole rock, I think, so. And the shot might be to hit and roll under the corner even. And nose is pretty good too, because if Michael makes a play on it, then you just got to draw the 8-foot for your single point, which is going to be a pretty big point. Who can ever score this next one? So this is with that high yellow bird there, that's not an easy one to get by and also get to that red. So he's going to have to be very careful not to set this one back, because it will run for a long period of time.
Let's roll to the wing. Same ice board weight.
I think that's a much better call, trying to get to the wing and with board. Because if you throw this a little too hard and that runs, if you ever get onto that yellow guard, they're going to bring another one in there, and you're going to be facing two. So making contact here is huge. So Rylan Kleiter with his first shot here, and number 5.
Easy.
This has got a lot of curling to do. Just about plan B, getting around the corner. However, Michael will now just elect to hit this one. So, and if he can get a roll under the center guard, I think he'd be very happy with that. Kleiter was very close to getting by that yellow guard, just about nicked it, as I see the replay. All right, Michael Carr is throwing his final stone here, and number 5, looking to hit the Kleiter rock and roll under one of the two guards. Boy, on this one, it is starting to move. It is really moving. Will they hold the shooter? And they will not. So a big break there for Kleiter as he gets to blank this end and retain hammer into the 6th. I think they're trying to find a path that they can't hit a rock. So yeah, you don't want to play a tick shot here and kick him into the house for one or something. He is throwing it around the red rocks, but he asked if he's throwing firm. I think that's probably a good idea. So just a throw through here for Rylan Kleiter. It looks like he's going to split those two red guards right in half. So he does get the blank. Knocks Josh Botcher on his butt. And they will take hammer with the 1-point lead into the 6th end of play.
Hi, I'm Kurt. And at Flamin, we offer a variety of services to keep your trailer road safe and road ready. Whether it's trailer maintenance, an inspection, a repair, warranty, or upgrades, you can trust our accredited locations to give you the service you need. So whatever your trailer needs are, we've got you covered. Contact your local Flamin dealer to see how we can help you today.
With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be a part of your community. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
It really came down a lot.
All right, welcome back to the Swift Curling Club and the
No, just the guard.
last Players Championship, C-Qualifier. We are Michael Kars and Rylan Kleiter with a 3-2, Kleiter with a 3-2 lead, playing the sixth end with hammer. And we had, looks like Michael Kars just came up a little, or looks like maybe a center guard, and then I think Kleiter attempted to tap it in, and it looks like he just did that. Which then mean that they can now hit that one if it's in the house. A little update from the Scotties. Amber Holland was successful beating Robin Silvernagle 6-5, so she will now play Penny Barker in the semifinal tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And then the winner will then go on to play Chelsea Carey at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
I know it's kind of a tricky shot, but I think you pretty much just played to just miss that guard. I think like at least back line now. Back line back.
I'm just trying to give you an update on the other 2 C qualifiers being played right now. And I will get those for you as soon as we can. Here's my internet update. All right, Josh Bacher with the attempted he was attempting to come onto the red, and it just didn't curl up enough for him.
Wasn't that the shot?
So again, Kleiter flirting with a bunch of center guards. Going to be a little bit of trouble again. Wherever there's always a, when you got a biter in the house like that yellow, that could come into play and could score, get forced into a couple of 3 or so. Let's see how this plays out. Lefty Aaron Schucha attempting to come around to the top 4. They're liking the line right now. Very nice shot. Aaron has had a very good game, so has their other frontman, Lyndon Holm. They've been pretty much every end. The Kleiter has been forced to try to get out of, as they say in Ukrainian, kaka. Is Ukrainian Christmas? Was it yesterday? It'll be just a straight peel here, I think. And if they do get the run back into the yellow, that'll be a bonus. But number one is to get rid of that center guard. Josh Bacher with his third and final shot of end number 6.
Whoa, that's backing off. That was a good throw, actually. That was a good throw. It's good. That's a good shot.
Josh Bacher with a good peel there. And the way they're set up, there's going to be some kind of run back potential here coming up, and Michael Kars will have to guard for his life here for a few shots. And then eventually he'll end up hitting the yellow and roll under and say, Kleiter, now what are you going to do? They're liking the weight and the line right now. Great shot. Aaron Schutra again. And, you know, getting them in line like that is exactly the way you want it.
That might be kind of stupid.
Yeah, but I think I like your word stupid. That is a good call. You want to get rid of that center guard.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Johnny's earpiece must be in there as well, as he's changed the call right after you said that, Johnny. And a great steal there by Trevor. So Tyler Travis will just be asked to replace that exact same guard. So as long as they keep them in a parallel line, it's going to be very difficult for Kleiter to move more than the center guard. Now, if it ever gets offline a bit, that will create an opportunity to remove multiple guards. But as of right now, it looks like another nice line coming in. Great shot. There may be a bit of an opportunity to hit that red just off of nose so it goes into the yellow and gets rid of the red. And I think it's worth the risk to try it because it's now not exactly straight in line.
Just make this, or do you not have enough? Okay. I'll just give you, it's running really true here, so give you a
And
little
this is just off nose is all he has to hit on the center line side. Trevor Johnson with his second shot. First shot is a third.
That's good, Trevor.
A straight peel on it, so that is a good plan B for sure. I almost like to see them just try and run it straight into those rocks. And if you happen to nose it, and they nose it, something terrible, but it's very slim chance. So you got to make sure you're more on the center line nose side than you are on the half a rock side. That's one thing they'll have to clean up a little bit. Michael's asking it to sit. This one is curling a little bit more. If it does curl another 6 inches, we'll give this is a very good opportunity for the double peel now.
I think we have to. Have to what? Play at this. Yeah.
I'm not sure that gives you anything.
It curls a ton there. Like ideally you do this with like board.
Okay, they're gonna probably sit two after this, right?
Yeah, they might hit that, then I might have a double though.
Then they'll be sitting three.
What?
If we do this and they know that, they sit three.
Well, this one's gone, right?
But I do see his point, because if you don't make that straight run back, you may never get a chance to get at that shot rock in the
Or
fourth.
you just throw it harder and make sure and just use your shooter.
That yellow's not going anywhere forward from what I see. Like
The yellow isn't, no.
no, and then it's still dead buried.
But what are they doing if we do make this play? Are they hitting that? You can try it again, but like,
If they nose the yellow, do we have a double?
pardon?
I really like the run back still. I think that's the highest percentage shot.
Be a little bit, but it'll still be double.
You just got to make it.
There's only one good way to do it this way. I know. Because this isn't good either.
It's basically that two might spill a rock or two that way, and that's about it. Because if we miss this again the same way, they're probably nosing or rolling a rock or two.
Or we just play it to being
Looks like they've listened to Johnny again with his earpiece.
Okay, it's never curling though. It's gonna run nice and true for you.
3/4 on the center line side, and you're going to be a really happy camper. This is why the thirds get paid the big bucks, right here. Out turn, run back, double, triple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. Yes.
Hit on the wrong side of that. He hit 3/4, but it had to be 3/4 of the other side. Yeah, it does take away that draw around tap for Rylan's last one now. Trevor's not happy. So now what does Cars do? He's got some opportunities here to, I think it's replace the guard. Or it's hits the yellow and roll under. Or you could draw the top of the button as well. It looks like they've elected to replace the guard, which is probably not a bad call because Kleiter would be opening that up to try and get something going on his last one. So if he does make this guard, then Kleiter has to make a big decision here. When does he make the draw to go to the button? He's going to have to either draw the button or try a run back again, which they've tried 3 times unsuccessfully. Michael Card's draw, they're pretty quiet, must have come down to a nice spot. And there it is. Ooh, they're talking about hitting their own and rolling under. I believe the shot is to come to the top button right now, get one tucked in there. Yeah, right where he's got his broom. Because once again, looking at the scoreboard, giving up 1 is not the end of the world. It would be a tie game. So you got to just make sure you don't give up more than 1, or then obviously you want to try and score. So you might as well go after it now. And they've done a lot of draws to the button, so this should be pretty much very closely, I'm sure, or very close when it's out of the hand.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you want to see for hug to hug?
Probably like a 15 to like, maybe a little bit after.
So Rylan once again facing a bit of trouble as he has the last 3 ends. And they get something, maybe a skipper's deuce perhaps even out of it. First shot, end number 6. Out turn attempt to draw the top of the button. Oh, and weight's good out of his hand. Oh, for lots of room right now. Trevor's calling good weight. Now can they get it buried here? And just not quite the right line. Yeah, very well swept by Trevor. Would have been really, almost, it would have been perfect weight if they had the line.
This is bad.
If Michael Kars ever gets a hit and roll under, they're going to be in big trouble. So Michael will attempt. Even the nose hit is a pretty good shot for Michael. As Rylan just needed to get that tuck, even just a little bit would have been really nice, which would at least guarantee him a second opportunity to score his one, but now he might have a hard time scoring his one. Michael Kars, last rock and number 6, attempting to hit and roll under. They're off it at the moment. They're now going to maybe look for the roll to the other side. Now, did they leave a double for 2? I believe they have. It was almost the worst spot that Michael could have rolled. He could have rolled further or less, but not right there. So, Kleiter could get let off the hook if he can score a deuce here out of nowhere.
Yeah, probably close. Okay.
Kleiter with the last rock and number 6, looking to throw an in-turn double for 2. They're on it, they're off it, they're on it, very close. And a very nice shot. Well called by Josh, and that was been a 2 out of nowhere, and Kleiter takes a commanding 5-2 lead going into the 7th end.
A co-op is not a building. It's not a grocery store. It's not a gas station. A co-op is a group of people who come together to build up their community, to help their neighbors, to make a difference. And so, they start local businesses that are member-owned, businesses that give back. Western Canadian co-ops have been quietly doing it this way for more than 100 years. Well, it's time to speak up. It's time to celebrate. And it's time to see that there is another way. An alternative to big businesses that ship their profits out of Canadian communities. An alternative that is built for everyone. An alternative that is built on Canadian values. We are a different kind of business. We are member-owned. We are co-op.
Pair up super fast internet and incredible TV for applause-worthy savings.
All right, welcome back to Swift Current and the C-Qualifier of the Players' Championship here. And the Kleiter team came up with a big skipper's deuce to take a 5-2 lead into the 7th end of play. And in the other two games going on, it was Jason Jacobson defeated James Owens by the score of 8-3, and Max Kirkpatrick, the wily hometown veteran and senior team, is leading the team St. John by a score of 5-2, playing the 7th. And now Kleiter asked Botcher to put the first one on the 4, and looks like he's top 12, so now they'll attempt the tap to the 4-foot. Now they don't have hammers, so center line, keeping the play to the center line is going to be key now for them.
Hey, line's good. Lead. Whoa. Whoa, close. Lead. Whoa. Whoa.
Back button. Back 4. Back 4.
Calling on back 4, so he's a little heavier than what they were asking, I think.
Really good. Yeah, back 4. That's good weight. Yeah.
Keep two yellow, and ideally what Kleiter would like to see happen here is for Michael Cars to score 1 point and take hammer and a lead into the final end would be the ideal situation. And Michael, I'm sure, is thinking he needs to score at least 2, maybe 3 in order to have a really good shot at coming back in this game. And Kleiter might be okay with giving 2. I'd say 1 up with hammer is would be a pretty good situation to be in as well. This one is just going to get over the hard line. Now, will Kleiter be able to play the double peel?
I don't think it's ever worth it.
I guess the 5-rock rule means we can't do that yet.
Same weight. Let's give it better ice here. This should be better.
So Josh will throw the same shot for the 3rd time. You always like throwing those same shots, as you do learn from each one, and they normally do get easier.
Whoa, whoa. Pretty heavy. Okay, play this. Yep.
I don't want to take this just behind you. We got to get as far as
Don't want to be pushing rocks behind the tee line, that's for sure. You're not going to like that shot. I didn't hear much communication saying that was backline weight, though, out of his hand, and that was at least backline weight, maybe even more. So Michael Cars is going to really like that. It's a great rock to come around the corner and have some backing there as well. So Aaron Shutra, the out-turn lefty, come around. He's had a wonderful game. He's put his team in really good positions after each end.
curl a bit. Line's okay. Line only. Let it curl. Wait. Curl.
He has to curl up a bit. That's still a pretty good shot.
Gotta probably get almost to nose if you can, but even if it sits and rolls there, that's good. Yep. This spot ran pretty straight last time.
They're playing an if-or shot, so what you don't want to do is err on the wide side and hit it too thin that the red stays in the house. And those angles are set up as which that could very well happen.
Yep.
That's very good. The super shot there by Trevor. And he had to get that tight to the guard because, as you notice, that red rock barely rolled out of the rings. So that was not an easy shot. But they made it look easy.
So foot above T line.
Shutra will now just go around the other side. And they will attempt to do a similar shot just on the opposite side. Looking at another great shot here by Shutra.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
But did he get shot? I think he might be just a little bit short of shot rock. Which round will ignore that because these other two guards are the only thing that can harm him in the future.
Probably thin quarter. Quarter rock is close across the top though. Just nice peel. Gotta be pretty good, eh? Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did he catch it inside?
Is he going to get thin double? Just about. Great shot.
What's up? He's looking like that. That's better. It's hard now. Yeah.
4 foot.
So Mike will now go around the other corner again. So this could play into a deuce, maybe 3, depending how the rest of the end unfolds. But definitely got the setup for a 2 for sure.
Got a curl here. Hard landed. Yep. Hard kill stop.
And we are finishing this one.
What do you think of this? Then this one's wide open, right? We're still shot, or second shot. So I think you can get away. Is this your last? We got good chase too. I don't
mind that run into the center one because, again, giving up 2 is not the end of the world. 3 is not good.
Good chase. Yeah, no point in playing anything on here. This should leave us a double, right?
If you do decide to chase, you have to just make sure the pro miss is to hit that yellow guard. Peeling the yellow guard is not the end of the world. And that's why maybe that runner is not the end of the world either. Run it into his own yellow.
You're never picking this. Well, if you miss everything, like that. Yeah. Well, I guess the worst thing is if you just touch this. Yeah, it could happen. But then this is really wide.
You will always have the half a rock yellow on that one in the 12 foot for a double as well. Maybe. That's pretty thin. I don't think that one's there.
I'm not a fan of running that. It's either chasing that or
we just play this right now, your turn?
yeah.
I'm good at that. As long as actually, no, that's probably the biggest I think if you hit it thick, then we'll probably give it up.
Now look at the scoreboard, boys. 2 is not the end of the world.
Peel it out. 9. Because if we tick the guard, I want to make sure it's enough that it moves it.
You should with like even 4 is fine. Yeah, if you're sitting over here, that's really good. Let's just go forward.
I don't mind this board shot. Now, the key is you don't want to hit roll for another guard up there if you do get, but you should be close enough that if you do tick the guard, you're going to roll your shooter right out anyways. Trevor Johnson with his last shot here in end number 7. What you can't do is flash them. Starting to go now. He's very close. Did he get enough of it? Yes, he did. Great shot. So I think Michael will elect to replace another one in the same spot.
And it didn't come off as hard.
And perhaps get it a little bit even more buried than what they've got right now, or than the last one. And with a left-hander, oh, this is the righty now throwing, right? Tyler. You know, it does curl, as you noticed with Trevor's too. Is finished really hard with that board weight. It looks like a little bit heavy. And how far will this slide? Kleiter is electing to just draw down to that one, which I think is a pretty routine shot. Just draw weight, and that'll take away make it a little more difficult even for the two. However, as you can see, there's that red on the top 8-foot that if he doesn't put that yellow right frozen on the red, there's a chance he could go half a rock double and count a 3-ender if Kleiter stops in the top 4-foot of this. So he has to make sure he gets all the way back to that red one that's in the back of the tee right now. That's key. Rylan Kleiter, first shot here, and number 7, attempting to freeze around the corner guard.
Clean! Clean! Line's a little tight.
Hold tight line and
Small bump, small bump. Okay, off.
Trevor's called a small bump. And that is a beautiful shot, right to the great call on line, great sweep judging, and kept the angles just right too, that Michael can't tip that yellow one out. So now Michael's got to try, I think the 3 ball was out of the question. He's got to now try to figure out how can I manufacture my deuce. And that starts with freezing on this yellow one that Rylan just threw.
Yeah, tap.
Little update from the last game remaining too is the Kirkpatrick game. They're playing the 8th end, and Kirkpatrick is up 5-3 with hammer on St. John. Michael Cars gets a freeze attempt. On backline weight, which is going to be really nice. So got to hold the line here. And very good shot to hit shot lock. Yep. You don't want to play that double and jam it, I don't think. Then there's a tap for 3. I think the call I would do is tap your yellow up to the button.
I don't see anything else that's good though, unless you just guard his draw. But then he just makes that shot. Or you just play this.
I really like that call.
That's actually really good. That's a really good one.
Or you can actually do the straight corner freeze, maybe, on that red one that Michael just threw. Let's give him the in off though for probably 2. Wow, right, I wouldn't play that one.
No, it's really bad.
think that's the right call too. Play the tap, make him have to make a hard shot for 2. There should be no shot for 3. It'll be just a harder shot for 2. You could throw the guard so he doesn't have that same draw that he just threw, but then he's still got the tap on his red on the right hand side for his 2, which is not as easy shot, but you can get to nose on this and tap it to the 4-foot. You might even steal. Coming around is not even a bad idea.
No. I think
But
it's
if you know, so they need about T-line weight here is all you need. Give it a little push.
Yeah, looks a little tight. Yep. Yep.
Hold it tight out of his hand.
Yep. Yes, hard line. Hard line. Back forward. Hard line, hard line, hard line, hard line.
We're going for line. Line's looking pretty close. And a tap right to the 4-foot, a very nice shot. Which is gonna make it a little tougher shot for them to score now.
Pretty damn close.
So another big shot by Kleiter on his final one to basically get that bit of trouble that was kind of shaping up into Michael Carr's now having to make a difficult shot.
Either or is there. That one's harder, I think, because you have to throw a missile. Have a shot. Watch out. Maybe that. Yeah.
I don't know if Mike throws enough weight.
It's only 3.
It's got to almost kind of play the raise around the horn shot for 2 is what I'm thinking. Or he can play that red one, try to get about 3/4. That will score his deuce as well. Both of them not very easy shots. All right, Michael Carr's about to throw his last shot here in end number 7. Looking to play half a rock off his red, ricochet that into the yellow one that's shot rock biting the button for his 2. He called off out of his hand. It has a lot of curling to do here. And he is going to slide right past the red, and that will be a big steal of 1 for Kleiter.
We're down 4.
And they're discussing a handshake. And it looks like they've decided to call it a game, so that will be the end of it, with Kleiter stealing 1 in 6, taking a 6-2 victory over Michael Carr's, which will put them into the cash prizes, I guess it would be, on Sunday. And they'll be playing at 9 a.m. And I'm just checking up the draw here, and if the draw is correct, it looks like they'll be playing against Kelly Knapp at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So thank you all for tuning in, and hope you enjoyed the solo broadcast, and look forward to maybe seeing you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.